added one more just to have a placeholder in my profile so that the My Profile tab is not empty. So I think that we can go one by one, starting from the topmost.
Okay. So, do you want
me to share the screen?
Yeah, it would be better, I guess, if you share your screen.
Okay. All right. Can you see my screen then?
Yes. Yes, David.
Okay. All right. So the first one that I added yesterday, because I did not think about that previously, but we need to discuss that. We need to have a way to share this binary so that, because as I said, the app is this working model that we're developing now, that is going to be the result of the second sprint, is going to be presented to future clients by sales representatives in order to gather feedback. So we must provide an easy way for the sales representatives to download the app to their phones. Of course, we're going to know who these are going to be. So a perfect scenario would be to find a system in which we could share a link with the sales representatives who would simply download the app to their devices. I have some experience with the hockey app, which is, I believe, perfect for this one. And simply put some code into the binary, into the binary of into the code's binary, and then into the binaries code, and then you can share it. Just put it via hockey app and share it via link. But you might know some other methods, and we can analyze them too. So this is number one, and this is, as you can see, critical because the resulting product of our current work needs to be this binary that can be sent to these sales representatives.
Okay. Any questions on this?
David, can we just use the traditional Play Store and iTunes method? Or
I think so. Yeah. If they simply can do what we want, so we can just share a link with people or do it via test flight, then I think that it's absolutely fine.
Okay, we'll just analyze because we don't have any idea about this hockey app. We are just thinking about that. We'll just analyze the pros and cons, and we can finalize one method.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, if you want to go if you want to follow the path that you know, and it simply allows us to share the app with some people that we know beforehand, then it's absolutely fine. Yeah.
Okay, David.
So we're not. Are we estimating these entries, or we do not do that now?
I think we can complete the estimation as well as part of the backlog grooming session on planning.
Well, no, because I want to. When we discussed that, do you remember Kalpana even sent you a message via Hangouts that I wanted these to be estimated so that we could estimate what elements, what functionality will this working model contain. So I would insist on us having estimation. If we cannot do that now, we can have a session, I don't know, tomorrow in the morning, but we need to do that.
Okay. To analyze the methods, and then
you read the description.
Yeah, sure. In place, so we can just put that alpha and then give them, make them test results, right? Then they can use it. That is a better idea, but we need to think what
he just
exactly
gave us an example, but then he left to us whatever method you are comfortable. If you want to analyze,
that,
yeah.
So
We need to provide the group.
people should download it and show it to others. That is the aim.
Okay. Now we have seen your testimonials.
Points. Sorry?
David, I have a query here. How many stakeholders are we estimating? Like, how many people should be able to download the application? Approx.
For now, I know about a few. So I would say, I don't know, 10 to 20 for now, but this may change. So I don't think it is going to exceed the number that currently TestFlight allows for 10,000. So I'm sure that it's not going to be even close to that. So let's assume that it's going to be between 10 and 20.
Okay. So the thing is that I was just verifying the pros and cons between Hockey app and TestFlight method. I just read Stack Overflow. It's given like TestFlight has a con, like only 25 internal testlet slots are available. So that's why I asked you how many testers. I mean, how many stakeholders are we expecting? We'll just yeah.
So in Hockey app, there is going to be just 25 if possible. Yeah.
No, it's given like 100 tester slots are available.
No, it's not going to be close to that. No, I think that, but well, I believe that if we know this, the methods that we have used so far, I think that we can go for TestFlight and for Google Play if Google Play allows for any beta testing. So I think that this is going to be okay. So we do not need to use the Hockey app. This was just my suggestion because as I said, I have experience with both, but I do not have experience with Android apps. So here I'm just relying on your expertise because I haven't ever. I have never developed any apps for Android. So if there is a method via Google Play, then we can go for that, and we don't need to use Hockey app. Let's go for TestFlight and Google Play.
Okay, but then in Android, it's not a situation because we can just upload the APK somewhere in a drive or something like that. The problem comes only in iOS.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But please remember that we do not want it to be available to public, right? We just want it to be available to some selected people that we share a link with. Okay?
Selected people.
Okay, David.
Okay, why you can't upload in an IPA trying to in the drive and let them install?
You can't install.
No, on that day, because they gave you that's the IPA driver.
It is a distribution IP. That is different.
Why we can't create that?
You can need the certificates again.
We have everything right now. Distribution.
No, TestFlight is simple. We don't have TestFlight is the best way. It's simple. We don't have to bother about those things. If it is more number of users, then we might have to think about distribution.
Okay, we can use TestFari in the play. TestFari.
TestFari. Okay.
So almost for Android or iOS, we can give 100 each. 100 users, more than 100 we can.
Yeah, I think we need to analyze the options and then come up with a solution and then do that
Exactly.
distribution. So that is the scope of the story. So can we estimate now?
3 points.
3 points?
We need to analyze which method and we need to
Upload the file.
Only 3 points.
3 points. Yes.
She told 3 only.
No,
Okay, David, the team says 3 for this story.
Okay. Quite a lot, I'd say, but that's fine. So it's up to you. Okay. All right.
Okay, so shall I update the points parallelly in Jira to David?
No, I'm taking notes, so I can do that later. Okay, so that we do not need to update it now.
Okay, fine.
We can proceed.
Okay.
Okay. Another PEMOB 65. As a user, I want to score for a particular activity be saved. I want my score for a particular activity be saved on the device and displayed next to the name of the activity in the table of contents, so that I can see which activities I have already done and how I scored on that. And let me show you a screenshot. Well, no, it's not the one. I believe I have it. It's in the description. Let me see. Yeah, 031 lesson view.
Okay.
031 lesson view. So let me find it. 03. Should be this one. Nope. Excuse me. Unlocked lesson. Okay. All right. And I think it was different when I was preparing this one. Let me see, because it had an appropriate way of representing the score, because this one is the old one.
Okay.
Let's see.
After they have updated the screens, I guess the number might have changed.
Well, I did that this morning, and it was different. It was the one that I wanted.
Okay.
And now I can see that is the old one. So let me see. Because, oh yeah, here it is. 031, lesson view, unlock lesson. So they both have the same name, I see that. So that's the problem.
Okay.
Yeah. This is how I would like to see it, right? So we have latest score and we have 17 out of 20. It is described in the description. So after you have completed an activity, the score is saved and it is displayed in the table of contents next to the name of the activity. Okay? So here we have the name of the activity and here we have the score. The score is displayed in the points scored, points to score format. Technically, activities will be tin can compliant, which would allow us to fetch the score after the user completes an activity. In order to do that, we must mock LRS, whatever this is, but as far as I know, in Chennai there is a team who did a lot of things with tin can, and they should know how to do that. I learned that from the PEF team in Poznan. Because in order to fetch things from tin can, I'm no expert in this one, but you need to have an LRS thing. However, this thing is available in the PEF system. However, when we download activities, we lose access to this LRS, and we need to mock it. I don't think it's a trivial task, but as far as I know, it's not difficult either. So we need to mock it somehow and pass a link to the LRS when launching the Avaline package. Right? So we need to figure out how to do that. And UI-wise, this is displayed in this mockup. There should be just one last score saved for this activity. So completing the exercise again overrides the score. So we just saved the last one, okay? As in the mockup. So latest score. We do not save the previous ones, right? So we can save them, I don't know, in some user defaults or in some file and then fetch it when opening the table of contents.
Okay.
The way you're saying not to save it in DB or some other files, just in the device alone, you're saying to store it locally.
Could you repeat that? Could you repeat the question?
So with you're saying that the scores will be saved in the device, not in the DB or separate files for that. Just in the device for now, you're asking to save it and retrieve it.
Yeah, okay, we should save it in some other file. I don't know what file, what kind of file, because
One user uninstalls the app and then installs it again.
Or deletes the cache memory.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. This is just a working model. We are not saving it in any backend anything. We just save it in a file. When the user deletes the app, he or she loses access to this data.
Is it not in the device? It should be in a file.
No, it's in the device.
In the form of a file.
For Android, it will be fixed and for iOS, use it to configure the things.
Okay.
Global storage.
How can you finish it, right?
Okay. Any other questions or clarifications?
The user uninstalls, it will go. So
Even
the-
it's the aftermath.
I think you can come here. There it is so cold. Try here. Sure. So guys, any questions? If not, shall we proceed with the estimation? Okay. Estimation, please.
Because we don't know about the LRS, we need to discuss it, we need to get the data, how we need to pass and how we need to display it. These things are not. Yes, we don't know about the LRS, we need to ask we have to check with our
IAP team.
IAP team or in NLP they are using LRS. I know, I
Mhm.
think it is IAP.
Okay.
Okay, I have to check with them. Then we have to pass the link to them. the score activities, and from here the URL link. David, if it is an offline app, then from where the link will be passing, how the link will be passing the scores? For score, you have mentioned pass a link to the LRS when launching the package. If it is an offline app, then how the link will be passed? LRS is a call to the server, or how you are saying how the LRS will be?
To be honest, I don't know. I don't know, because when the user opens an activity, it can be either via the table of contents or via scanning the QR code, right? So we need to have a link to the file, and we need to put when we are invoking this link, we need to put some parameters, and the parameter is going to be this mocked LRS server. That's the only thing that I was able to learn from the team, from the PEV team. And they told me that there are people in Chennai who are more experienced with that, and they should help you.
Okay, then David, we'll do one thing. We'll have a discussion with the people who are handling that, and then can we estimate this one alone later, because we currently don't have any idea about this thing. If
okay, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah.
It has to be offline, then it is fine. We can just use local storage or something to save the score. We need to have a call, the server call. So
we need to check with the, and we'll let you know.
Okay, all right, no problem. I realize that this one's difficult. So just please learn that, and we can estimate this one later. Yeah.
Okay, David.
It's going to be the same with another one, I believe. So PEMOB 64, because again, let's see, as a user, I want to be able to switch between activities without leaving them, so that I can easily move to another activity within a lesson. Let me, I forgot to open this one. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Right. Here we go. So we have edit. So look, if we have a structure of a TOC, below lessons, we have skills. I call them skills. And in these skills, we have activities. So if there are more than one skill in more than one activity in a skill, like here, I want to be able to have activity A and to be able to go to activity B, and from activity B go back to activity A, okay, without going back to this table of contents. It is not going to happen here because we have just one activity in this one, so we do not have these next previous buttons. However, here I would like to have these, okay? So, so at the bottom of each activity, there should be next previous buttons, which would load another activity within a skill. See the structure below lesson, there are skills above activities. Okay, so this is what I mean. So vocabulary, this is a resource group, and we have activity. There should also be the back button at the upper left corner, right? So that I can go back to the table of contents, which would take user to the table of contents at the lesson level. Is the first one for a particular skill, we do not display previous, right? So this is obvious. If we go to activity A, we do not have previous because there's nothing before that. If we go here, we do not have next. We just have previous, so that we can go from this one to this one. Okay. If an activity is the only activity in a skill, or it is not encompassed within a skill, we do not display the next previous buttons at all. What I mean here, as I said, in conversation activity, there aren't going to be any next previous because this is the only one in this conversation skill.
Okay.
Links to learning objects will be fetched from a JSON file generating using the PEV content here. So this is again, they are going to be here in this JSON file. That's what I mean here. UI-wise, buttons can be simple labels of the Pearson Go color without arrows indicating the direction. Next to the right, back to the left. Right? So this is, I believe, quite obvious. Yeah? So this is the thing, and I believe it is I believe that we would still need to use this TINCAM thing and this LRS mocking for that, because we need to use the TINCAM elements here. So if you cannot estimate it now, we can also leave it for later. Okay.
Okay. Then
Is that so?
we can estimate this one also later.
Okay. Sure, David. We can estimate that later as well. Any question?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Maha has a doubt. Yeah.
David, from the JSON, you are fetching the activities, right? You have shown that from within the lesson, we'll be getting the vocabulary or that. If I check with the JSON file, here I'm having all it as empty. I'll share my screen once again. I'll show the JSON file here.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. Can you do that? Can you do that now?
Yes, David. Is my screen visible?
Okay. All right.
That's coming up.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You can see this is the JSON file we are fetching from the PEF.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in this you are saying with this is the name for that listening. If inside the lesson we'll be having this as one activity or this listening as an activity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inside that, this value has all empty learning object null icon for URL teachers notes. How we are going to display the contents?
Okay. So there are two things. When we display the table of contents,
Okay.
we open a lesson and we see a list of activities. We do not see skills. We do not display skills in the table of contents. We just need to be able to detect that this activity belongs to a skill, and if the user taps next or previous, we move on to another activity. However, we do not display skills in the table of contents. We just display a list of activities below lessons. So we have lesson activities. However, skills are necessary just for this next previous buttons. Okay?
Okay, David.
Okay.
David, can you please come again, because
Sure. Yeah.
we couldn't. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, David.
Yes, David.
Okay. So we are skipping this one, and we'll get back to the estimation later, right?
David, you explained about that story, right? Can you please explain one more time?
Actually, we won't displaying any skills for. We won't be listing any skills. We'll be listing the thing.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Exactly. So look, we just let me show you my old mockups that I created. Let me show them to you. It's not here. This one's the last one. Okay. So one page. Okay. Right. So you open Epic. You open Level. You download a unit or a lesson, and then when you open lesson, you immediately see activities. You do not see any skills. Okay.
Okay.
But the skills are, as you can see, so we have activity vocabulary A, vocabulary B. What is going to happen is when I open vocabulary A, it automatically detects that it belongs to a skill. We do not display it. We just detect that it belongs to a skill, and then I can go to another one. But I cannot move on to another skill from that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Okay.
All
right.
The screens are moving. That's what he's telling me. Okay.
Okay, David.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Shall we move on to the next one, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, 81. As a user, I want the app to automatically start downloading a lesson when I tap an activity which has not been downloaded yet, so that I can complete the activity offline. So when user opens a list of activities in a lesson which has not been downloaded yet, right? See mockup 0 through 0.1. Okay, so here we are. And I tap this activity. It hasn't been downloaded yet, as you can see. So what is happening when I tap it? It automatically starts downloading the lesson. Not the unit, but the lesson. Okay, so this is the story. Okay, so but the thing is that when downloading finishes, we open the activity. Go like that. So it should remember that this user tapped vocabulary, and when the downloading finishes, to this activity. If user wants to leave the screen when it is downloading, the app displays a pop-up with a question. You are currently developing the lesson. Are you sure you want to leave? Sorry, it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a question mark here. Okay, and possible answers yes, no. If user taps yes, we cancel downloading and leave. Downloading process should behave exactly as in PEMOB 69, and as yeah. So this is the one, right? So PEMOB 69, this one that is done in this sprint. If user has no internet access, we display appropriate info as in mockup 12 offline with no download function copy. Okay, so it's available in the mockups too. Let's see if it's this one. Nope.
So the same spinner, I mean, in the cloud icon, the same spinner and all should be exactly same as that of.
Exactly the same. Everything is exactly the same. The only change is that when I tap the name of the activity, it automatically starts downloading a lesson. Right. So if we have this mechanism for downloading, this should be rather trivial, I believe.
David, first will be displaying unit and lessons, right? If the user downloads the lesson, only will be displaying the activities. Then in that case, how will be performing this action? If the user clicks on the activity, how the download will be starting it again?
So is it like without downloading the?
We won't be displaying the activities, right? If the user does not download the lessons, we won't be displaying the activities.
No. When the user, we do display activities, but the user cannot open them, right? So let's see. So it looks like that. So I've just opened. I can open. So I open lesson 2, and I can see a list of activities, but I cannot open them because they haven't been downloaded, right? So I need to tap this cloud in order to download them. And then when I tap vocabulary, I go to the activity. Okay, so you can browse activity. You can see a list of activities in the table of contents. However, in order to open them, you need to either download a whole unit or a lesson.
Okay, but then in Pearson Go, we used to have it like, suppose if a unit has not been downloaded, we can't open it inside. I mean,
Yes.
we can't go in.
Yes, yeah, I know. But here it's different. That's why we fetch this JSON file with the table of contents in order to be able to see everything what the user can open. Yeah, but yeah, it's different from Pearson Go. I agree.
Okay.
Okay, David. Fine.
Any other questions or clarifications? If not, let's proceed with the estimation. Points, please. Yeah, they can estimate better, I guess.
Okay, what are the scenarios?
This way, we are going to display. When user clicks on the activity, we are going to download the lesson.
They've already handled downloading lesson unit, so similar kind of work on it.
You see what
We have that cancel feature also here.
Cancel?
In case the user goes back,
The user goes back.
and in 69, it's there like if he clicks on it again, he should be able to cancel it. So we have to include cancel, and then
We are showing a pop-up
Internet
saying you want to
access
leave the screen, something like that. Message is there.
so 2 pop-up will have.
So you will be
but
reusing your
cancel.
code then, and then add these
Back
two
button will come under
validations.
navigation.
That's it.
Anyway, once you come, then you should
click on
yeah, yeah,
button,
you should
stop the
Does it show pop-up? Internet pop-up, cancel pop-up, back navigation pop-up.
Internet pop-up has been handled already,
Okay,
right?
no means including whatever comes
Yeah.
else. So those three, and if it is downloaded, and you should open the activity automatically.
After the download is
Activity
done.
be enabled, right?
No, it's there.
No.
It should.
Only after the downloading process is completed.
No, we'll be enabling. We
When
won't,
downloading finishes,
activity
you open
should
the
play.
activity. See, it's mentioned there. If it is activity is not downloaded, he clicks it. We should download it and then open the activity.
When downloading finishes, we open the activity.
Yes.
So you have to handle it.
It's everyone's turn. It doesn't mean best video.
Yeah, you estimate how much it will.
It's everyone's turn.
So partially, you will use the you'll use the code. Yeah.
Right.
Consider like 3 for reusable to code,
No.
and then 2 for the new validations.
No.
How are you? I mean, how much you want to estimate? 5. David, the team fails 5 for this story.
Okay.
So
All right.
move on to the next one then.
Okay. This is analogical because this is the situation because previously it was that the user tapped the name of the activity, and here the user has scanned an activity, right? So he or she has scanned a QR code for this activity, and this lesson has not been the lesson in which the activity has not been downloaded yet. So we open this lesson right in the table of contents, and we automatically start downloading the lesson. Okay. So when user scans a code of an activity, if it has been downloaded, we open it. Otherwise, right, and this is what it's about, we open the menu for the lesson, which contains the activity, and start downloading the lesson. The process of downloading the lesson behaves exactly the same as in PEMOB 81, so the previous one. Okay? So the one as if the user tapped the name of the activity.
QR scanning is
Just he's scanning and validating, right? But whether the
navigation part.
from where they scan, how we are going to get it.
Oh, you mean you have a
David,
functionality
we have a
before
query here. Like as of now, the thing is that we are just validating a QR code. Is it a valid one or not? But then after validating, how are we going to match it? Like this QR code is for this lesson or for this unit, something like that. How are we going to? I mean, how will we do that?
Well, to be honest, I don't know because this one's described in PEMOB 38, right? And this is the biggest thing actually in this one of the biggest things in this sprint that is running now, right? So here we're going to need to do that. So there is a description of the fact that we scan a QR code and we are taken to a particular activity, okay, in some structure of the table of contents. So depending on how we resolve it here, we need to apply the same mechanism here. Okay?
The question you asked has been handled in this story. It seems.
In that story, you are just scanning you're scanning sample generated scan code and showing whether it is a valid or not. That's right. Then in this story, we are going to perform the download icon from where it will be scanned. The scanned URL link.
David, the thing is that in that story, right now I'm handling the validation of the QR code, but then we need some sample things like
If, for
Well,
example,
you mean a sample, a QR code?
like sample QR code showing the contents.
having the content.
Well, no, let's do it the other way. I think it's going to be better if we do it the other way. please suggest what should be in the QR code so that you can pass it properly and be taken to an appropriate place. I think this would be better if we do it the other way around. Because if publishers suggest a QR code, they might not understand, they might not know what data you need to have in order to be able to do it. So just create a QR code and let me know what it contains, so that we can apply this procedure to the QR codes in the book.
But then the thing is that suppose if I'm creating a QR code like 1, 2, 3, 4, and I give the value of 1, 2, 3, 4 to unit 1, and some people may use it again and again, right? Safe, because the QR code we can just scan it using any application and get the contents from the QR code, David.
Yeah, but it's going to our app, right? We are going to put some parsing and all for that, right? So anybody who scans it, just get the code, but yeah, we are going to have
fine, David.
Am I right?
Yeah, because we're scanning only, we are dealing only with the situation in which the user opens the app and scans a QR code. We are not thinking about the user opening, I don't know, a camera and scanning a QR code and what the mobile operating system is going to do with that. We don't care. We just care about the situation in which the user opens the app. We need to tag the level, the lesson, and the unit in this QR code so that we can open the appropriate place in the table of contents. I think that it would be much better if you suggested what should be in the QR code. I think this would be a bit.
Yeah, we can create QR codes from our end containing some data in it, David. But then I just doubts in that. That's why I asked you. No, it's fine.
Okay.
We have to have many things. If you scan that, you have to check with the device where the app is installed. If I have installed app in this phone, I have scanned it. I have to check inside it whether I have downloaded it or not. If not, I have to download. Then I have to
the app.
Then I have to navigate there. If I'm scanning
that is
check whether the
it's mentioned in the description.
I think it will.
Hi, it's Gerald. Hi.
Hello, Gerald.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Gerald.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I've been listening very intently. Let me add, I was thinking, if we structure this QR code so that it actually can, bears some relationship to the structure, because at some point when they go to print, you're going to need to actually produce those QR codes on the printed page. So if we were saying it's going to go to Unit 1, Section 3, whatever it is, if we can actually have a standard format for that, then it's much easier when we come into composing the page, because we can say, it's a real life thing. It is, whether it relates to page 17 or Unit 1, Section 3 or Lesson 6, whatever it might be. But I think if we can have a consistent structure, then it removes any chance of ambiguity.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The only thing that we need to bear in mind is that we need to have some tag for a particular level or a product, right? So that these do not confuse.
Yes.
And so this is the only thing. All the other things, such as a unit, lesson, section, should all be standardized in order to keep them the same. But we should just change the tag or some some label for a product or a level. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, because what you don't want to do is sitting there and then you scan something from the pack of sugar puffs, pack of cereal on your desk, and it does something. So, but similarly, we shouldn't have a level 3 QR code that can scan to somewhere in level 2, I suppose. So we do need the level in there, don't we? But say if we can say, okay, here is the structure, and we can say to the publishers, okay, so this is what you need to put the QR code that relates to, the appropriate place that they can see in the real world, is Unit 1, Lesson 3, page 16, whatever they're going to use, then that will make it much easier.
Okay.
Yeah. But I still believe that it would be better if you as developers suggested what in particular it should be, because what you need to have in order to get the functionality that we actually.
Yeah. What we don't want is just a random string of numbers, which we could map across, but then there's bound to go wrong somewhere. Publishing.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
in the JSON file, I just went through the JSON file, David. There is some thing called as name en hyphen, en underscore en vocabulary activity B. I guess that would be different for every. Is that the same?
You mean the ID? It's going to be different, and I believe this is generated randomly.
Do you want to show him?
No, it's fine. We'll check it and get back to you, David.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I know that you might need some time to figure it out. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So are we going to estimate this, or you want time?
We need some more time.
Okay.
Okay.
So moving to the next one, then 43.
Yes, 43. So when the user has already opened one of the levels, right, because we have products, then we have levels. We want this level to become a default for him, right? So after user has opened a level in a product, the one he or she has selected as the last one is saved, and from now on, when he or she opens the app, the default view is home units, right? So we do not open the product level, but we immediately move on to this particular level. So as if we tapped level 1, let's say, right? The app still displays the back button in the upper left corner, so the user can access product levels by tapping the button in the navigation bar. Of course, if the app just goes to the background and the user opens it again and it doesn't have to load again, we display the screen on which the user closed the app. I'm just, in this one, I'm talking about the situation in which the user killed the app completely, right? This one's just to make sure that you know that when the user just goes, the app just goes to the background because the user has just switched to another app. We are going back to the previous screen, right? This is my aside comment. Okay. What I want it to be like, if the user has opened the level, then this level becomes his or her default, and whenever they open the app again after it was killed, we are taken to this particular level.
Okay.
Questions?
This is the same as default course implementation.
Okay. So, shall we move on with the estimation? Points, please. Fine with everyone?
Yes.
Everyone done? Okay. David, 5 with everyone. Is that okay?
5. Yeah, my question is because what we just need to do is just save this information, what level the user has chosen in a file, because we do not save it in the backend service or anything. So is it really 5? Because we just need to fetch this data from a file that is saved on locally on the device and open an appropriate list of units if necessary. Your decision, but I believe that it's not as difficult as, I don't know, playing the audio and video files.
So,
because this one, the file.
Share your points. How you estimated as 5?
You're selecting the default unit, right? You're selecting the default unit.
Okay.
From the levels and units you're selecting. And if the user wants to that. What are the
It works exactly same like the default course in Pearson Go. Once the user selects
There is back button right here. See here. The app still displays the back button in the upper left
the
corner.
first part is like when the user just goes out and come back, and the second part explains how the user, when the app is killed and then the user opens it again. Two cases are there.
First part is killing the app, right? Second one is closing the app.
After the user has opened a level in the product, the last one is saved from on. When the user opens the app, the default is the home units. Last time, whatever units you have seen, it has to be displayed again.
If I'm in the activity page, inside the lessons, if I'm in the activity page, what would be different?
The way the small query, suppose if the user is in an activity page, like unit 1 and that particular activity, should we trace back one level back and then display the unit?
Or will be displaying the last visited page?
Activity page.
No, just when the user, for example, open an activity and moves to another app, moves back to this app, we still open this activity. I'm talking about the situation in which the user, for example, opened, I don't know, activity A, then killed the app, and when he or she goes back to the app and we load it from scratch, we immediately go to units, not to this activity.
Okay.
The corresponding activities unit has to be open.
When you kill the app and then call it up.
Yeah.
Units, not activity that you left early. Any questions or do you want to re-estimate?
In patient go, what we did was just make that as a home page, whatever the code. And we had that home button separately, so we click on it to go to home. But here we have to include the navigation path itself, because if we select, the user selects back from the unit, it should go to that level, should back from the. We should consider the navigation here. It's not just replacing the start page. Correct.
But he's saying we have to display the unit, right? If the user is a level space and case the app and it returns, in that case,
whether he is in an activity
or
or
in the unit space, we have to check it also, right?
Yeah. Depending on whatever page he is, we have to display the unit corresponding to
that. In the levels.
Level space, if he is not selected any units.
Okay, one more case, like if the user is not inside any unit, he is in the levels page. So in that case, we will open in that levels.
If the user opens a product and then a list of levels, but does not select level, we and kill the app, open it again. We open the list of products as if it was his first time of opening the app. Okay? But if he or she chooses one of the levels, we immediately save this information, and when he or she kills the app and opens it again, we immediately move on to this particular level.
Level. Yeah.
Okay. Select should move. Okay. We should product page. Yeah, we'll be product page. But if we select, then we should go into that level.
Even if he's in the level space, we should redirect to the product.
He's in the level space, but he has not selected any level, not clicked on any. So we'll move. We'll just show the product page. But if he chooses the level, then
it should be redirected to the level.
Since there are.
You said level only, right?
No,
if he selects
one
the level,
then we should go into that level.
Level only.
Units
from the first from the product, it will be displaying it. From the splash screen, we'll be displaying the courses, and inside the courses, we'll be displaying the levels. Levels or units.
Can you tell them one more time from the first?
See, so I'm opening the app for the first time.
Okay.
Choosing the Epic product.
Okay.
But I didn't select any level. Okay, I just killed the app.
If you click on the Epic, it will be navigated to the next page, displaying the levels of
Epic levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm asking that if the user skips from the Epic levels, if he clicks the We'll start from the
We'll
page.
yeah,
From
fresh
that,
page.
yeah.
Yes. We'll show the big product page.
Product page, that's one.
Mm. And one
Only
more
if we
question
select
she
the
has.
level. In case
Yeah.
I'm selecting a level, we
At
should
that time,
save
we'll
that.
be displaying the units page.
We should go inside the levels, so it will list all the units.
Levels page.
Levels page in the sense inside the level.
That means the unit page.
Units.
Level 1 means.
If we click on, if the user clicks on the level, it will go into the units page, right?
That page
So
will be
that is what we have to
displaying the
show.
Okay. So clear now? Estimation.
David, we are just having a short discussion here.
Sorry for the delay.
Okay, no problem.
If we go to the levels, I'm not selecting anything, we don't do any save. If you selecting level, we will go to the next page. In this case, we will have the product and the level in the row. We have to save that.
Okay, quick, please. Okay, share your how complex and why it is complex to be. Yes. Okay, can you just explain the complexities that you are thinking?
Actually, we just saying 5 because like we're not sure of the, we believe that there might be some difficulties while implementing in navigating the structures. So that's why we have chosen 5 points for this.
Okay, right. As I said, I'm just yes. If it's your decision, then I'm going to respect that. Okay. So if you believe that there might be some complexities, then then it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Nice.
Thanks, David. So shall we move on to 66 then?
Yes.
Oh, 66 we have already.
We have already estimated these two because we did the last time. We even assigned them to Ezil, right? So as far as I remember, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe this one was 3 and this one was 2. In total, it was 5. That's why we could have easily moved to this one because this one we gave 5 for this one too. So can we copy that? Because nothing has changed here in this one.
Okay.
In these two, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can skip those two then.
Okay, so 3 and 2. All right, and here we have help to learn how to use the app. I moved it a bit higher because I want the app to be a complete thing, a complete product at this point. So I would like to display anything in the help. So I wrote some help text, right? So the tab displays just frequently asked questions. The frequently asked questions should be readable on a mobile device, so the font should not be too small. The content should be in a scroll view in case it gets long. And here you have the content, the example content. So this is the only thing that we need to put here. So just this one, no functionality. This is just a placeholder so that the app can be clickable and the user, when he or she enters this area of the app, he or she can see something instead of a blank screen. Okay, so I don't think it's a big thing.
Okay. So
Just explain the text.
want to browse help to learn how to use them.
We are
Okay.
displaying the content, so if we give a big static content only, right?
Just a static content. So 1 point for this story, David.
Brilliant. Great. And the same is going to be with 115 because again I added this this story. As user, I want to browse some placeholder details in my profile tab to see anything. When a user opens the My Profile tab, he or she should see a label in the middle of the screen saying you're not signed in. Because this is just a placeholder for the working model, because the whole My Profile tab is described here in PEMOB 53. However, we're not going to implement this one in the working model, so we can stop here at 115.
Okay. 1 point.
Just we are displaying the signing button, right?
Okay. 1 point for this story, David. 115.
Right. Great. Okay, so I'm wondering if we should proceed with these, with the ones that are following, or we should stop here and take this time that we wanted for this, that we planned for this for this backlog grooming for determining 65, 64, and 82. I don't know if it's possible for you, but would it be possible for you to analyze these user stories and get back to me with the estimations today? Because we could
Today?
stop here, because this is, yeah, 115 is the one that I wanted to be definitely included in the working model. The remaining ones can be included, and we could get back to this discussion once we have learned these 65, 64, and 82 and see if there is any velocity left.
Sure. Okay. So when can we get back to him? He says today. Tomorrow in the dailies.
Meeting will be updating.
How about getting back tomorrow during our daily scrum call, David?
Of course, yeah, of course, this is absolutely fine. So, so my suggestion: let's use because we're planning to spend 4 hours on this backlog grooming. So, so we have 3 hours left. So, would it be possible for you to simply, instead of getting back to your work, just focus on these 3 user stories so that we can estimate them and discuss them tomorrow during the daily? I will be available. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, then please contact me. I'm available on Hangouts. I'm available on email. So it's up to you. So just contact me in case you have any questions.
Sure, David.
Okay. All right, so I think that, and yeah, one thing, and when it turns out that we still have some, well, velocity left, probably, right, more or less, then we can have a separate session and discuss 79 and 48 if you want, or we can go through them now. So it's up to you. Just let me know if you want to estimate these, I don't know, 4, for example.
We can just estimate and then wait for it. Okay, David, the team feels we can do that later. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Okay.
Thanks, David.
Okay. All right, guys. So yeah. So I'm waiting. So no, I'm not waiting because we're going to do that tomorrow. So I'm available for you. So if you have any questions, just contact me. Okay?
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much, and we are in touch.
Sure. Thanks, David, and thanks, Gerald.
Gerald is oh yeah, he's here. Okay.
Yeah,
bye bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Thanks, Gerald. Bye.
Bye.